Hey, we're here for the last chapter, the last video blog for the Gospel of John. And it's kind of hard to imagine now. We started back several weeks before Christmas, and it's been a great journey, a great trip. I've really enjoyed it, at least anyway, through the Gospel of John. I mentioned last Sunday as we had the sermon time, a quote from Warren Wiersbe, that if John was an ordinary biography, there'd be no chapter 20. But obviously it's not an ordinary biography, it's not about an ordinary man, so there was a chapter 20. The resurrection, we needed to have that. But why chapter 21? That's another question. The book seems to come to kind of a natural close at the end of chapter 20. You've got the resurrection of Jesus, like he said he would. John kind of draws his conclusion, wrap things up with his statement of this is why I've written the book, and an invitation to come and believe. So why then a chapter 21? Well, there's, I'm sure, many reasons. A few that come to mind. One is John shows that Jesus really did make an appearance in Galilee, as he said he would, so he covers that. There seems to be a persistent rumor that John was not going to die, and even some 60 years later, as John is the last living apostle, the rumor still seems to be circulating that Jesus said John would never die, so John has a chance to address that as he finishes up chapter 21. But it seems like the most important thing, the biggest thing that sticks out in the chapter, is regarding Peter and some unfinished business that Jesus had with him. And the church, I guess, needed to know about Peter's restoration. Obviously, Peter had seen Jesus prior to this chapter 21 encounter that we're going to look at Sunday. Peter was with the 10 when Jesus appeared to them, with the 11, including Thomas, when Jesus appeared to them. And even, it seems that Jesus made an appearance to Peter himself. Luke 24:34 tells us about that he appeared to Simon. How long that appearance was, what did they talk about, and what was the discussion, I don't know what happened between Peter and Jesus in that appearance on that resurrection day. But apparently there was still some unfinished business. And so Jesus and Peter are going to have another conversation that's going to mean a lot to Peter and to the church for years and years to come. I think about when I was in high school and our basketball team was advancing to the state tournament. We had a great season, and had won the game to move on to the state tournament, and the coach had to select the 12 people to make that trip. He could only take 12 to the tournament. So he had to select who's going to be on the team, who gets to go, who gets left behind. And that was a tough choice, and a lot of people kind of sitting on the bubble, I'm going to get to go, I'm going to get left behind. And I think especially of one senior, his name was Michael, who really didn't get to play often, but he was a senior, and he'd been in the program all through school. And Coach left Michael at home and took 2 sophomores on the team instead, and that was a really hurtful thing for him. And I think about Peter, maybe, as a great victory has been won through the resurrection, and the kingdom's going to advance forward. Is he sitting kind of wondering, am I still on the team? Okay, there are 12 of us there. Obviously Judas is already going to have to be replaced. Is there another spot? Is my spot going to be filled with somebody else? What's going to happen here? And so Jesus has this meeting with Peter. Some things as you read chapter 21 to think about. What did Jesus call Peter? What did Jesus ask Peter? And why? Think about that. Why did Jesus call him by the name that he did? Why did Jesus ask him the questions that he did? Think about that. And a second thing then. If I were to say, as you read through chapter 21, the message to Peter from Jesus is, Peter, it's about other people. Peter, it's not about other people. What does that mean? You read through chapter 21 and see what you think. Peter, it's about other people. Peter, it's not about other people. Okay? And we'll get together Sunday and take the last chapter of the Gospel of John. See you then.